What's going on, everybody? Happy MASL Finals Week. We are a few short days away from a historic championship match in Ontario between the Fury and the Soccers. I know I could speak for all of us when I say I can't wait. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Christian Philly Filament. On today's MASL Insider, we have the honor and privilege to chat with a legend in this league, a legend in this community, a legend in soccer, and a legend in the business world. His list of accolades and achievements is long and distinguished. We could spend hours highlighting our guest's accomplishments and still not even scratch the surface. That would be better served on an MASL podcast, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. What I can say, though, is that our guest is the founder and CEO of Donuts Delight. You've no doubt seen the commercials for those world-famous cannoli donuts, Delish. He's also the CEO and founder of Salvatore's Old Fashioned Pizza with about 30 locations in the Rochester, upstate New York area. And, of course, the founder and CEO of the Rochester Lancers, a man of unique style and tastes that I admire tremendously. Look, folks, without further ado, I'm done blabbing here. We have the legendary SoccerSam Vantuzzo on the show. Welcome, SoccerSam.
Philly, baby, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on with you.
I love the energy. I love the enthusiasm. I love the styling and profiling that you give. I can tell right now this is going to be fun. Real quick, Sam, for the folks that don't know about you, can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and how soccer has had an impact on your life?
Third grade, the best 4 years of my life. I went to my first ever soccer game when I was 10 years old. I fell in love. I realized how difficult the game was. I was lucky enough that here in Rochester, New York, we had some of the first ever indoor games ever when the NASL was testing indoor soccer. So a lot of our Lancer players, our original Lancer players, became New York Arrows, became Buffalo Stallions, became Arrows. So I fell in love with indoor soccer, and the connection. Obviously, it's a dream come true for me to be part of this league.
Your story itself is incredible. You need your own Wikipedia page. But until then, folks, check out SoccerSam.com for more of the story. So this season has been one for the history books. The playoffs have been action-packed. How much have you enjoyed the postseason thus far, and how excited are you for the finals?
Philly, I didn't miss one game all year. I obviously went to the semis in Kansas City. Amazing soccer all year long. I'm so proud of the owners that they had the courage to keep the season going. It took a lot of courage, especially the guys that couldn't play at home. Ontario, San Diego. It's kind of cool. They're in the finals, and they struggle to have home games till recently with Ontario. So I'm so proud of those owners and the investment and the love of the game. This is what people don't understand. This sport, it's not about the money, guys. It's about guys that love the sport. And every single owner in every single city loves this sport, and that's priority number one. So I'm so excited what's happening right now. And obviously San Diego and Ontario, it's going to be one amazing matchup coming up this weekend.
Absolutely. We can't wait. We got a little SoCal Battle Royale about to go down in a couple of days. I got to ask you, what are your plans for the finals? You coming out to Ontario? Do you have a fun party plan? What's SoccerSam doing for the finals?
You know, I checked my 72 Pinot, man, and I need new tires on my Ford Pinot, so I'm probably not going to be able to make it up there, but I'm going to be watching, and I'm so excited on how I'm going to be watching this game, and you're going to tell me about that in a little while, I'm sure.
Oh, of course, of course. Look, the playoffs have been outstanding. And if there even is a slight bit of resemblance as to what we saw in the semifinals and the finals, everybody's mind's about to get blown off. I've spoken to a lot of people about the postseason. If we were able to capture a passerby fan curious to learn about the indoor game and sit them in front of a screen to watch the playoffs that we just watched, then we could have easily converted a casual fan into a lifelong fan. But you are going to be doing something about that, something big, in fact, and that's making the final accessible to all. Can you tell us what SoccerSam is planning?
Well, my buddy Greg studying on soccer. I saw him post something about, it'd be great if the finals were free. And I started thinking about it, like, you know what? I know a lot of our season ticket holders and even our players this year weren't exposed to the sport like they used to be because they were able just to turn on their computer and watch the games. So the pay-per-view thing's been a huge success, and I give compliments to the guys that put it all together. Great for the league in a season like this. But I just thought, how can we figure out a way to help others watch the game and watch it for free. So I reached out to my marketing team. They came up with some ideas, and we're doing something here in Rochester. My buddy Doug Miller, he runs our Lancers youth program, and he hit me up with some ideas saying, Sam, some of the best kids with the best talent never get a chance to play at the highest level because they're not exposed to some of these elite programs, youth programs. So we started doing some sponsorship packages with him on the Hush Hush, helping out families that maybe needed some support. So I thought, hey, why don't we do this worldwide? We know our women's national team is the number one team in the world of women's soccer, but a lot of those players come with the college ranks, and they get in the college ranks. You know what the deal is? You got to do really well in college. So in the pro ranks, you got to do really well in college. Well, how do you get to college? You got to play at a high level youth program. Well, some of the best players in the world and in America never get in those programs because they can't afford to. The parents can't afford to. My parents were like those people. My parents came from Italy. They didn't have a lot of money. I didn't get a chance to play at those high-end clubs and all the travel and all that. So we figured, hey, let's help these kids. Let's come up with a fund, and we're going to help kids throughout the country to maybe get a chance to play at the highest level that they could in the cities they live in. So we came up with this idea, and it's basically, it's kind of like it's a sponsorship, scholarship, whatever you want to call it. We want to help out, and that's what we're introducing this weekend during the games to kind of give fans a chance to let their kids play at the highest level.
And that's great. I mean, and that's a testament to you. You've worked hard to get to where you are, and you understand, you love the game. You're making this accessible to others, and I love it. And you mentioned, where can we get some more information about this again?
Well, it's SoccerSam, SoccerSam.com. All the information will be on there, and how to register and how to do it all. We're going to have some commercials on the games this weekend to kind of let fans know on how they could register to get their child involved with this program. There's an age limit on this. I think it's 15 and under. Kids 15 and under that aren't playing an elite program right now. They're maybe playing house league, maybe playing travel, but playing at the next level. We're going to give them the opportunity to play at the next level and help out. We'll be in contact with the parents. We'll be in contact with the coaches. If the kids make the program, we'll figure out a way to help them, make their dreams come true with the game of soccer. The men's national team, the outdoor men's national team, 20th in the world. We're the greatest country in the world, but we're 20th when it comes to soccer. Why is that? Partially, I think a lot of the best players get overlooked, and a lot of those best players are playing in the MASL. Let's face it, they're playing in our league. Some of the best players in the world are playing in our league, but they get overlooked for whatever reason, and part of that reason is the whole college thing, man. They're not, the college scouts aren't seeing them. Then they go to the MLS combines. They're not seeing our players. So we're going to figure out a way to get some of the best players in America to play in some of these elite programs, these youth programs. So they get scouted by the college clubs. They get scouted by MLS. They get scouted by the MASL, and the rest will be history, hopefully. If we get one kid that makes it to the next level, that's my dream, man. That's all I'm trying to do right now, and I hope it happens.
I love it. You heard it right here. SoccerSam's stimulus support. More info on that coming out over the course of the weekend. SoccerSam's stimulus support is also going to be making the games live and free for you on Facebook. There is no excuse to miss any of these games at this point. You have the opportunity to watch it. Now, let's talk about these playoffs. Going into the playoffs, which team or which players have you spent a great deal of time following and supporting?
Well, Philly, I gotta be honest, man. I was rooting for Florida only because a couple of my ex-Lancer players play for Florida. 3 of them, or 4 of them play for Florida. So I was rooting for them, and I was rooting for Kansas City because my boy Brian owns Kansas City, and he's been so good to me over the years in the game of soccer, and saved my tail one day when a 10,000 seat arena was full of people, and the Kansas City Comets were stuck in an airport, and Brian figured out a way to get his team there with a private plane. And we didn't let the 10,000 fans down here in Rochester. So I owe him big. So I was rooting for him. But now I'm like, Ontario, San Diego, I can't decide who's going to win this baby, man. It's a battle of the best goalkeepers in the league, in my opinion.
Without a doubt. And San Diego's getting hot at the right time. Ontario is taking care of business. These last 2 weeks where the boys have had some rest, week for that matter, is going to really favorable. It's going to play well into the game going forward. So, what in terms of the playoffs thus far, what's been the most memorable aspect? Like what's one thing that stuck out so far to you in these past couple of games?
I mean, the Kansas City was just amazing. Every game was so close. The overtime games. I just saw some of the best indoor soccer I've ever seen in my life. I've been watching this game since the 80s, man. And in my opinion, it's the best. You can hear all the stories about the old days, the heydays, and the best players and all this baloney, but we got some of the best players that ever played the sport. Up and down players, nonstop, goalies flying coast to coast, post to post. It's been unbelievable. And there's every team, like, even the, Dallas that got eliminated early, everybody came together and like played so well. My hat's off to the owners, the coaches, and obviously all the amazing players that basically give their life to this game that we love so much, Philly.
It's a beautiful game, and I echo the words you mentioned. I mean, they're playing for the passion, for the love, and for right to fight another day. And you can tell Dallas gave Ontario a run for their money. Most people thought it was going to be a cakewalk, but Dallas made it scary for the Fury, and it's been fantastic watching these games. I know you're kind of in between here, but what are your predictions, or what would you like to see out of the finals this week?
I'd like to see some great soccer. I know a lot of players on both teams, so I don't want to say who I think is going to win. I just think it's going to be a close series. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a mini game 3, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. I just think it's going to be a battle of goalkeepers, a battle of coaching abilities, and the different both coaches are going to have to put their heads together, figure out how they're going to outsmart each other. I just can't wait to watch this weekend. And the best thing about this weekend, Philly, if it's free, it's for me, baby. And it's free this weekend. You can watch the game for free. Get my giant bucket of popcorn there, a couple of Lancer lagers. I just can't wait, Philly. I'm so excited. Get to hear you, see you do your magic. Oh, it's going to be fun.
Oh, I can't wait. In a way, it's good for the boys that they had a week to kind of hang out and get better. But for us, it's like the anticipation is killing me, yanking out my hairs, pulling out the little grays I'm starting to find there. I can't wait either. It's going to be fun. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you a question regarding your team right now. What can we expect from the Rochester Lancers next season?
Well, our arena right now is still a COVID vaccine site. The landlord signed an extension. We think November the arena should be available. We have a backup plan, a backup arena if we need to. There's an arena up the street in Buffalo. Let me stand up right here. Whoa, look at that, Philly. There's an arena up the street in Buffalo where if we have to, baby, we might have to play some games in Buffalo. Utica's up the street, not too far away. We might have to play some games in Utica. The Lancers will be back through this COVID mess, and we'll I think this year we be a different team. Our coach Doug Miller started training the guys right when our season ended. Let's face it, it was our first year, M2. We made it to the semis. We did great. We thought, okay, a couple of little improvements. We'll do really good in M1, MASL that is. And obviously, we only won one game, and it was a challenge. I just didn't realize how good the league was. I was out of the league for a few years. I didn't realize how improved it became. So we worked hard on it on the off season. And then this COVID thing hit, and New York State, it was bad, man. The only thing open in New York State really is Governor Cuomo's house if you're a female. I mean, that's about it, man. You can go visit Cuomo anytime you want if you're a female, but you can't go anywhere. So it was a challenge, Philly. But we're gonna get through this. Next year's gonna be fun. We're ready. My staff's ready, and I'm excited for 2021, 2022 indoor arena soccer in America, baby.
I can't wait. And yes, I probably speak for everybody when I say we can't wait to see the Lancers back. We can't wait for life to go back to normal. Now, we're coming up on time here. Just wanted to ask you a couple more questions. But before I even go finish it off that way, is there anything in particular you'd like to say to the fans and the supporters of the league? And of course, anything you'd want to say also to your Rochester Lancer faithful?
Just to you, Philly, and all the guys out there supporting this game and doing their hard work to kind of bring the message out there, which is important right now. Thank you so much. All the owners, man. Again, I'll say it again. We're just a fraternity. You read all the stuff online, man. This is the tightest this group has ever been in the history of this game that I know of. Everybody gets along. Everybody wants to do what's best for the sport. Number one, and it's unique. So I'm excited about that. And obviously, the different fans in every city, man. Those of you that paid for the pay-per-view all year long, we appreciate it. Obviously, you really helped out, and we tried something new and exciting. And we're going to figure out a way next year to hopefully, change things a little bit, make it better for everyone to see and listen and watch. And my goal, Phil, you don't know me that well, but basically my goal is to turn a young player into a lifelong fan. That's all I try to achieve every game. I look around the arena and I say, okay, if there's 10,000 people here or 1,000 people here, if I get 10% of them to fall in love with the sport, we've accomplished something. I think every owner in this league's done this year. Everyone that's done the broadcast this year have done that. You guys have educated people. You've made them fun. You've made them entertaining. And so if we could get these young kids to fall in love with the game, they're going to become you. They're going to become me someday. And that's all we could ask for. So yeah, maybe we're not going to, get the next greatest player out there watching, but if we could get people, fanatics like us, to then bring their talents when they can to the sport and help in any way possible, owners, TV announcers, broadcasters, whatever the case may be, I think that's what we're trying to do. And I can't wait for this weekend. And like I said earlier, Philly, it's my 4 favorite words. People ask me, like, what's your favorite? I wear Adidas all the time. But they say, well, what uniform does your team wear? I wear the 4 letters, baby. F-R-E-E-E. F-R-E-E. Free, baby. If it's free, it's for me. And this broadcast this weekend is free. So it's for me. I can't wait, Philly. I just can't wait.
It's funny. I had those exact words written in my little description, in my questions, but I mean, I'm not going to obviously overstep my bounds. You said free for me. I love it. I'm all about that 3-stripe life, baby, too. It's great. Now, I got a personal question, if you don't mind. I'm a born and raised New Yorker, a kid from Queens with pizza pulsating in his veins. In LA, let's just say we don't have that New York pizza taste. All right. What's the probability of getting some of that old-fashioned pizza sent out to LA?
I'm going to do what I can to ship you guys some pizza and some donuts for the finals this weekend. I have a house in Florida, and people say, well, New York pizza is the best pizza. Like, I could put sauce and cheese on a Pop-Tart and enjoy it. I mean, I love any kind of pizza. Obviously, I love Salvatore's pizza more than I love our donuts. Donuts better than anybody else's. But I'm any kind of donut works for me. Any kind of pizza works for me. So whatever city you're in, you support the pizzeria and the donut shop and the car dealer that's supporting your team. That's all. That's all you got to worry about. And if obviously there's not Salvatore's in San Diego or Ontario. So if there's a pizzeria supporting your favorite team, that's the pizza you got to buy. That's the car you got to buy. That's you got to just use the people that are giving back to this game. It's so important.
I love it. I'm all about supporting local, no doubt. And hey, if you're listening to this and you're in the Rochester area, Donut Delight, check it out. Cannoli Donut can be found at 1700 Culver Road at Empire Boulevard. But Sam, tell our listeners what to do in the event that they don't live near Rochester and want a cannoli donut.
You go to ddelight.com. You can order them online. We ship them to you anywhere in the country. We've shipped them all over the world. We created the Dr. Fauci donut, which was a huge hit right in the beginning a year ago when this whole COVID thing started. We ship donuts all over the world. Dr. Fauci had a lot of fans everywhere. Now our cannoli donuts are number 1 selling donut. We have apple fritters. They're size of lobsters. They're giant. We ship them all over the place. So that's kind of like, Nick's my partner with Donuts Delight. He runs the Donuts Delight. He is the most creative baker I've ever met in my life. And he just puts his love and his passion into donuts, like you and I put it into soccer. And the Donuts Delight donuts are amazing. ddelight.com. Ship them anywhere, baby.
I love it. I'm trying to maintain this girlish figure I have. My 6-pack, after I turned 30, turned into a keg, but I'm not going to let that stop me from having cannoli donuts. You will see an order from me shortly, a big one, and my wife has one heck of a sweet tooth as well. Now, again, I want to reiterate how much I admire your styling and profiling. There's a Facebook photo of you with that awesome pink blazer that I need to own myself. I love it. Your glasses, this is my way of like paying respects and homage to you, rocking these right here. SoccerSam, thank you for your time. It's been an honor, a privilege getting to chat with you. I look forward to running into you and hearing more of your stories, hopefully getting you on a podcast to hear more. All of the best to you. Looking forward to seeing the Rochester Lancers back in action, the rest of the league in action. And heck, while we're at it, just looking forward to getting life back to normal. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Philly. Feel the kick, baby. Feel the kick for life.
Folks, as you heard it, the finals are going to be free on Facebook. And to steal the words out of SoccerSam's mouth, if it's free, it's for me. And if it's free, it should be for thee as well. The matches will be on Friday and Sunday, April 16th and 18th. The Friday match will be at 7:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then 3:05 Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. You can catch the action on Facebook Live for free, courtesy of SoccerSam. All right? Can't wait to see how this season will conclude. Without any bias, I'm hoping for some exciting matchups. Can't wait. All the best. See y'all soon.